Welcome to the Purple Mash webinar on Assessment, Evidencing Learning and Progression in Computing. In this webinar, we will explore how you can make assessments in computing within Purple Mash, report on progression, and quickly link to work as evidence of achievement. We will look at how you can set work for your children to complete as a to-do, and how you can make teacher judgments against that work when it's being completed. Lastly, we'll look at how you can use our block coding tool, Todo, to track progression via the scores that children achieve.
So to begin this webinar, let's have a look first of all in the teachers area. I'm going to go in here to the computing scheme of work. Let's have a look first of all at the overview of all the units for Purple Mash computing scheme of work across year 1 to year 6. If I scroll down here, you'll see an overview of each of the year levels from year 1 to 6. As you can see here, the units are color-coded according to the 3 predominant areas of the computing curriculum. The red units are the computer science or the programming units in our scheme of work. The information technology units are those that are blue, and they relate to using other software such as making music, creating pictures, spreadsheets, touch typing, etc. And the yellow digital literacy units are those that relate to using the internet for searching, technology outside of school, and your online safety units. So if I scroll down, you will clearly see which units are available to each year level. Now you'll also see here the Purple Mash tool that is used to teach that particular unit to your children. So let's now go and have a look at one of the coding units, particularly for one of the year levels. So I'm going to go into year 4 here and have a look at the coding unit. This is one of the computer science units for year 4. When you're teaching coding to children from year 2 up, you can either use the lesson plans here, which assume the children in the previous year levels have done the coding units. Say, for example, here with year 4, they've done the coding units in our scheme of work from year 1, 2, and 3. If they have not completed the coding units in previous year levels, then the crash course is the one to choose. So let me go into the coding crash course. This is the coding crash course, which if I click on that, it has all the lesson plans, the overview. If I scroll down here, you'll see the 8 lessons. There are 6 main lessons and then 2 additional recommended optional lessons that you could use with your children. Now I'm going to click on lesson number 1 and scroll down here and look at the aims, success criteria, resources, and crucially, preparation. Now in preparation for teaching this particular lesson, I need to set Fun with Fish and bubble coding as to-dos for my class to complete independently in the lesson. Fun with Fish and bubble coding are 2 of the guided lessons that can be found in Code. So I'm going to show you now where to find those. If I go back to the home page here, into the tools area, and into Code itself. Here is, if I scroll down to the chimp level, here is Fun with Fish and Bubbles. Now to set these as a to-do for your class, I click on them, and rather than launching the app, which will give me the chance to explore this and play it with my class, I'm going to set it as a to-do for my class here. When you set a to-do for your class, you need to have a title, a description. You can add audio instructions so your children can hear you giving the instructions rather than reading the instructions. And if you click Next, this is where you can tag the national curriculum objectives from computing to this particular to-do. I'm going to tag it to the year 2 objectives for computing, and I'm going to choose the computer science aspect and tag these 3 objectives, which are the first 3 objectives from the computing curriculum for Key Stage 1, and click OK. And save those objectives. Now the reason I'm tagging the objectives now is because when I mark the children's work after they've completed it, if I then assign teacher judgments to a piece of work across my 6 or 8 week coding unit, I will then build up an idea of how well that particular child has achieved throughout the unit. So let's click Next and give this piece of work a set date. I'm going to start it from today's lesson, and I might give them until next Thursday to complete this work. I can restrict my to-dos just to school or home time, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to click Next, and I'm now going to assign it to my class 2, which is my year 2 class, and set that to-do. Now if I come out of here and go back to my to-dos, I can see there it is. Fun with Fish has been set for class 2, and I've given them 7 days to do that. I can preview the work just to make sure that I've set it exactly how I want it to be. And I can also see what that looks like from a child's point of view. So I'm going to use my drop-down menu up here underneath my avatar and go down to this feature here called Impersonate Pupil. I'm going to pretend to be a pupil in class 2, Amelia McGuinness. and impersonate her. So here we are on Amelia's home page. If I click the to-do area here, I can go down to this to-do that I've just set as a class teacher and have a go at completing that. So I'm going to pretend to be Amelia, start the activity. Let's have a go. I can watch the guide videos, etc. But I will have done this with my class teacher on the big screen, so I think I know what to do. I need to make my tuna fish move right. Let's press the play button and see what happens. Now, when Amelia's completed the steps in this challenge, she can save her work, use the drop-down menu and click the save button. And you'll notice it saves with Amelia's name as the file name. Let's come out of there. Go back to Amelia's to-do page. She's now got two options. She can continue working on that. She's finished it now, so she can hand it in. Let's hand in that piece of work and leave a note for the teacher. Now, because she's handed it in, it's come off her active to-dos page and it will go to her done to-do page. So let's go back to being the teacher now. Let's click on this drop-down triangle underneath Amelia's avatar there. Go back to being the teacher user. And you'll notice I have an alert telling me that a piece of work's been handed in. So I'm going to go and mark that work. Now I could go and mark that work here from my alerts, or I prefer to go to it via my to-do page. Let's go to my to-do page. Let's go down to the to-do I want to mark, which is Fun with Fish, and I'm going to view the folder here. So it's now taken me to my work area, which if I scroll down, you'll see there is the Fun with Fish folder under the to-dos, and here's Amelia's piece of work. Now I'm going to click the mark button here and I can preview Amelia's work on the left hand side and press play just to see exactly how her code works. Fantastic code, Amelia. She's doing very well. Let's stop that. So in the comment section, I can write a written comment here. I can add a voice comment as well using my microphone. I can assign a reward to Amelia for excellence. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to assign her a computing Excellence Award, and that will appear on her home page as a little animated cup that she can click on. I'm going to go to the Judgements area now. When I set this to do, I tagged it to these 3 computer science objectives from the Key Stage 1 computing curriculum. This is where I can add some teacher judgments onto this piece of work based on how well Amelia has achieved in this task. So I think she's exceeding in understanding what algorithms are. I think she's exceeding here in being able to create and debug simple programs. And I think she's at expected level at this one. She's able to use logical reasoning to predict the behavior of the simple program. Let's click Save. Now let's come out of that and go up to the Data Dashboard area here. Now where do those judgments go? Let's have a look in the Judgments area down the bottom here. Let's go into Computing, click on Year 2 in Computer Science. And if I click in here to show just for Class 2, I can see that Amelia McGuinness is exceeding so far on this objective, exceeding on that objective, and she's also exceeding on this objective. The reason for that is because I've actually marked a piece of work for her before. Although she only achieved expected on this particular task, she was exceeding on her previous task. So it's given me an average of those 2 teacher judgments. Now, if I wanted to drill down even further, I can click on the particular objectives on the left-hand side here, and I can see that there are 2 files of evidence for that particular objective for Amelia. So there's been 2 pieces of work that Amelia has completed. If I click on that, these are the 2 pieces of work that Amelia has completed that I have assigned teacher judgments to. This is the one I assigned teacher judgments to today, and this is one I've assigned to in a previous lesson. Now I want to show you again this to-do that I set earlier today for my class, and quite a few children have completed this task. So when I am marking a number of children's work like this, I'm going to go into James' piece of work here and click the mark button. I can preview his work, press the play button, add my comments, etc., and add my teacher judgments. So I think he's doing very well on these things here. And I can click the Save and Next button. So I can very quickly add teacher judgments to every child's piece of work. Okay, so I've completed all the teacher judgments now for all of those children's pieces of work, and let's go back to my to-do file here, and you can see the teacher judgments here on the right hand side. If you want to add a stock comment to all of these pieces of work, you can select them all by clicking on the checkbox at the top there, and I can use my ellipsis on the right hand side here, and I can use this option here called Set Comments. And I click Save. And that will add that comment to all of the children's pieces of work, and they'll see that comment when they go into their to-dos area. Now let's have a look at where all these judgments will be. Let's go back again to the Data Dashboard area, down to the Judgements area here, down to Computing, down to year 2, computer science. And here you can see all of the data that I've just added as I marked that one piece of work. If I drill down further into each of these objectives, I can see that there is one piece of evidence for all of the children, apart from Amelia, who's actually done 3 pieces of work. Now I can export this data to Excel, which I can then use as evidence offline. So I'm going to do that now. And here it is. You'll see the children's names down the left-hand side and a color-coded teacher judgment area on the right-hand side. The green cells here are where children are exceeding expectations. Those that are orange are expected, and those that are red are the children that are emerging. Now, if I go back to the lesson plans here, how do I know how to assign teacher judgments to the work that's being completed? Well, firstly, you will have read through the lesson plans and you'll know exactly what the expectations are for each lesson. But at the bottom of the lesson plans, you will have the assessment guidance for this particular coding unit. This will clearly show you what an emerging pupil will be able to achieve in this coding unit, what an expected pupil will be able to achieve in this coding unit, and what an exceeding pupil will demonstrate when they work through the coding units. Now, in addition to being able to assign teacher judgments to work and being able to extract the data here from the data dashboard, we have in our computing scheme of work up here in the teachers area, we have assessment tools and progression documents. So let's go in here and have a look at this. If I look at the progression of skills document here, there are a number of different formats of the progression of skills documents. First of all, we have the I can statements that children themselves can complete. You will have at the top the national curriculum statements and the skills, the outcome for that particular year level. This is year 1. And underneath you'll have some I can statements that the children can colour in based on the units in our scheme of work. Here we have Unit 1.4, Unit 1.5 and Unit 1.7. These are the 3 units for year 1 that focus on the computer science aspects of the curriculum. If I scroll down to year 2, again, you've got the national curriculum statements and the outcome at the top. And again, you have the I can statements there. And underneath, you have the information technology units and the digital literacy units as well. So you can use these documents for the children themselves to do some basic self-assessment at the end of each unit. Let's go back to the progression of skills. There are other versions that you can use with your class as well, such as a large wall display, individual year groups, and you also have the progression of skills for online safety. Let's have a quick look at this one, the individual year groups progression of skills. So here we have the computing curriculum objectives for Key Stage 1, broken down into the 3 colour-coded areas, computer science, information technology and digital literacy. Here it is in a slightly different format. This is the progression of skills standard format. We have the objectives from the national curriculum at the top and the outcome for each year level underneath. Let's go back to the assessment tools area here. I'm going to now have a look at this assessment tool here. You can either use the assessment tool for PC or for Mac, and I'm going to go to the PC one. I'm going to choose the assessment tool for my year level. Let's choose the year 2 assessment tool. This is a macros enabled spreadsheet, and I'm going to enable the content. I could then save this directly to my shared network drive or my teacher drive at school, so I have access to this throughout the year. And every time I teach a new computing unit, I would come in here and I would add my teacher assessment to this assessment sheet. So if I click on year 2 assessment, first thing I need to do at the beginning of the academic year is to add my pupil names here to the spreadsheet, and this has to be done manually. Right, so there we go. I've added in my pupils at the top there. Now, down on the left-hand side, you will see the national curriculum objectives and the 3 different strands, computer science, information technology and digital literacy. Again, you have the objectives in this column here, and then you have the purple mash units that you can use to teach those particular objectives. So here we have unit 2.1, which is the coding unit. If I click on that, it will give me a clear idea of what an emerging, an expected and an exceeding pupil can achieve having completed this unit 2.1. So then, using the data I have on my spreadsheet that I've extracted from the data dashboard, I can then add that data into my assessment tool. So here you can see an actual example of a year 5 class that I taught 8 coding lessons to, and I've anonymized it, but you can see the data is added into that spreadsheet. And if I scroll across, you can see percentages of emerging, exceeded and expected. And underneath each child's column, you'll also see some percentage data. And if I now click on the home button here, I can click in here to the class data section and see the class average percentage for those emerging, expected and exceeding, and I can see that 50% of the curriculum has not yet been assessed. as I've only added teacher judgments for those first 3 objectives from the computing curriculum that relate to computer science. So as you teach the units throughout the year, if I now go on to teach Unit 5.2, I can then assess the children's work at the end of that unit and add my emerging, expected and exceeding teacher judgments in there. Now I'm back here in 2 Code, and I'm going to go into this section here called Coding Resources. In this section here, Guided Lessons and Solutions, you will see, in addition to all the solutions for the guided lessons in 2 Code, you have underneath there a number of different assessments. You have 2 assessment tasks for chimp level, 2 assessment tasks for gibbon level, and 2 assessment tasks for gorilla level. So if you want to assess your children's achievement at the end of a unit, you could then set these tasks as an end of unit assessment to see how much the children have attained in that unit. You could add the objectives from the National Curriculum for Computing, and again add your teacher judgments once the children have completed these tasks. And you could use that data to add into your computing scheme of work assessment tool. In this webinar, we've looked at lots of different ideas for assessing and evidencing the progress of children in the teaching of computing using the Purple Mash scheme of work. I hope this has been helpful.